boom, let's get right to it. First thing you don't know about college, you can actually pick the times of your classes. But despite that fact, no matter what, you're always gonna wake up with barely enough time to get to class. I had class at 2 today. I woke up at 12. You think just because you can pick your class times, you're gonna have more time to sleep? No, you're always just gonna wake up an hour before regardless. I'm sorry, I know. It's gonna be the same amount of sleep you had in high school because you're gonna be going to bed later. It's just how it is. Let's get to number 2. Alright, forgive the dip in quality. This is on my phone. But rule number 2 is commuting has pros and cons. Pros, you can drive, you have flexibility. Cons are this drive to school is extremely shit, and the drive back makes you really think about your life and your choices. I'm not joking. Alright, so point number 3 is that people actually stop coming to school. And even though they're paying all that money for college, they stop coming to school. And you can really tell because during midterm week, the parking lot is full. And as you can see right now, the parking lot is dead empty. This happens every year, and honestly, it's better for commuters when people stop coming to school. Neat trick. If you're late to class, you actually have the opportunity to take your elevator up, and you don't have to walk up 5 flights of stairs. You'll understand what I mean if you go to a college that has a multi-layer floor building that you have a ton of classes in. Every college has a lounge area like this. Think of it like the coffee shop from Friends. I never watched Friends, but I would imagine this is what it's like. It's just a hub area. You'll always find a friend here. You'll always find something to do here. This is where everyone's chilling when they are in between classes and that kind of stuff. Paying attention in classes. A lot of times the teacher isn't particularly strict about making sure what you're doing, and you can kind of just do whatever you want. A lot of the time though, you're like casually listening in the back, and that leads into the next point. The next point being that a lot of times the teachers are kind of just reading off a PowerPoint. That being said, this class was pretty interesting. He put on some pretty interesting TED Talks. They leverage other resources so they can help them teach and stuff like that. Now, I am about to tell you one of the most horrid things about college, and it is the discussion post. The discussion post is one of the worst inventions of all of college. In Canvas, if you're in high school, you might have Google Classroom, but in Canvas, they have this discussions point, and they'll link you to an article, and it's the same thing every time. Write in a 1,000-word comment and then reply to 2 other students. It is the worst thing on earth. The amount of times those things are due on a Friday night and you're about to go out and party and you have to sit there and reply to 2 students, it's the worst thing on earth and the worst form of assignment you could possibly have for us to do. It is so beyond annoying. Group work is not gone. Group work is incessant throughout all of college. Group work in college is terrible. They try and meet outside of class. Group meets become the worst thing in the world. You lose track of them. You have so many, and it's just like a cop-out for all of these teachers too a lot of the time, where you just have one big group project. Now there's a lot of pros to it too, because you just end up waiting till the literal last minute and you have the whole semester to do it. You just end up waiting till the last minute to do it because you have the whole semester, so it's not like that deep when you start or finish. One of the other big things is you're going to be spending a lot more money on food just because of hanging out with friends, doing that kind of thing, grabbing a snack after class. There is always going to be so many, there's always going to be so many food spots on your campus. That leads me into the dining hall. Now the dining hall for people that live on campus, you kind of need to get it. It's a necessity, but a lot of commuters end up getting it. It's not worth it. I would go in for you guys, but that's like $15 fucking. I'm not about to go do that. It's not worth it, man. The food there sucks, and a lot of commuters end up getting the dining hall pass, and you barely even use it, and you just want to get other food. Definitely don't do that. Next, we have the biggest thing in America, one of the biggest forms of entertainment, one of the biggest reasons why people choose colleges is of course, holy shit, is of course college sports. That's our arena right there, the Jersey Mike's Arena. College sports are exactly as fun as you think. Everyone's all, you know, messed up, and you're just sitting there enjoying the game, getting really hyped to it. Even if you don't like sports, everyone loves going to a college game with your friends. And that leads me to the next point. My next point is actually about making friends on college. Making friends at campus can be both as easy as it sounds as well as difficult as it sounds. It's kind of hard to make friends, especially if you're not dorming, because you're not really talking to kids during class. That doesn't happen as much as you think. even with the group work, like no one really goes out and makes friends during group work. It can happen, but it's not particularly common. So the main way is actually through clubs and events. So I know out of high school, there's so many kids, including myself, my first couple years, I didn't even join any clubs. So I think it's really, really important, if you do want to make friends, you have to get out there and meet people and go out. Now, one of the other big things is people don't fully make use of campus facilities. I'm talking about the fact that almost every college has some form of free resources you can use. And I mean, I have all of my free editing software, the entire Adobe's Creative Suite, fully for free with my college. You can look it up and they all have it all listed out, like what they have, what they don't have, as well as you can make use of their computers, their recording systems, their laptops, all of this technology for free. And you have to just basically look up and see what your college offers. But this can be in the form of buildings, your library, as well as computer rooms, as well as a recording center, as well as the art school. You have so many resources to have in college, and so many people don't make use of them at all, and it's kind of crazy. I'm honestly probably not even fully utilizing my college's full facilities, but honestly the Adobe Creative Suite is the whole reason I have either of my channels, so that is a huge plus. Now to talk about cheating in college. Well, I don't really know nothing about that, so yeah. One of the big things about classes, you actually have to sign up at a certain time. Now this tip might be exclusive to me, but I always forget to sign up to classes on time, and I mean every single time. I have to set up course snipers, and that is also part of the tip. There's course snipers that you can use to set up to whatever program your school uses to sign up for classes. So if you do miss class, it's okay. You just sign up these course trackers. There's apps for them, there's Discords for them, there's Reddits for them, and it'll just get you sorted. I have to use it every single time because I always forget to sign up because I'm a fucking idiot. Now to the fun stuff, the parties. I don't know if you guys know this, but right, you might think a party starts at like 10 or 9 or 11. No, in college, the parties start at 12 to 1 a.m. and it can both make it really hard if you're commuting to actually go, but also just in general, process of getting there and getting back gets so much more annoying late at night. Plus, you don't know what condition you're about to be in, so party starting that late is pretty brutal at times. Now, this is probably the most important thing you're going to want to hear if you want to be partying in college. It's the most horrid concept, worse than discussion posts, worse than anything you've ever heard in your life, and it's called ratio, the death of all kids that are trying to go out and party. Ratio is this: trying to enter a frat party and you're a dude. They typically have a ratio of 1 guy equals 5 girls, and if you're missing a girl, it's $20 per girl you're missing. Isn't that crazy? Like, how, what, why? That's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, but it's just how it is. These frats are businesses and they're making a shit ton of money through this because desperate college guys and freshmen are doing this. That being said, after you're like, I haven't gone to a frat party like ever in a really long time. After your freshman year, you invest in what I call the next point. Let's call it pretend IDs. How do pretend IDs work in terms of getting into a bar? If you live in a crazy college town, honestly, your pretend ID is probably not gonna work out that well because they don't really need to let you enter because they have so many people trying to get in. But a pretend ID is a decent investment. And if you want to have pretend ID, you know, just to have a pretend ID, you know, a little paper ID. If you want this ID to work, the most common way is these pretend IDs are bought in batch orders. Now, like I said, they're just a harmless little pretend ID, so who really cares, you know what I'm saying? But they're mainly done in batch orders, and it's about like $40, and you get 2 most of the time, so you know, it's just fun. It's just like, you know, you just want a pretend ID, not to do anything with it. It's just a pretend ID. And now, the final thing. Everything, every party, every event, all of it stops during final season. Final season is no joke. I don't know if you guys went to high school like I did, but finals were not that big of a deal in high school. You could actually opt out of a finals in high school at times if you had a high enough grade. Like if you had an A every marking period, you didn't need to take the final. Finals are no joke. Everything stops for finals. Finals can literally make or break your grade. Sometimes, man, I'm like LeBron in the 4th quarter. I have a C on a class. I need to go out there and perform on this final to get a good grade. It's a real thing, man. It's no joke whatsoever. And that is the end of this. Let me know if you like this style of video. Obviously, the channel still has a lot of work to do. Let me know if you like this style of content. I feel like it's an improvement nonetheless. I know I have so much more room I need to improve on. So if you enjoyed this video, if you vibe with me, if you like this type of content, subscribe, leave a like, and don't forget, we're just getting started. We're gonna stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.